Hello.
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 Hi.
How are you? Hello.
Hiya. Hang on.
Is there,
Okay, that's it.
there's somebody there? A ghost?
I'm trying. uh, trying. Edit. Don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. Mirror reply. Oh, no. Sorry. Settings.
All right, well, we're gonna mute you while you figure that out. There you go. You're in space. Oh, let me see. I'll mute you. Hello. Welcome to Earth.
Hi. Yes. Hi there.
Hi.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, you're a newbie. Would you like to introduce yourself and
Frozen.
Yes.
how you found us?
I'm here very curious. And I'm sure I will leave with lots of new ideas and food for thought. And thank you for having me.
Yeah, where you coming in from? How'd you find us?
Joe.
Okay. Great. I hear an accent, so maybe you guys know each other in person? Are you from?
No.
No? Have you unmuted?
Yeah, we've never met in person.
Oh, you're oh, great.
We were on a coaching course recently. Yeah, and we kind of connected through there.
Great. Do you know anything about me or this work or what you're doing here? Or
Yeah,
did you just dive in?
for the last 24 hours, I really taken in all I could. Not that I finished the book, as you can imagine, but
I'd be very impressed.
that would be, just a shame to do it in 24 hours just like that. It has to be properly. I mean, I would like to properly sit with the book and give it its due. Yeah, I'm a newbie, but I know a little bit about it, and I'm all ears.
Great. Welcome.
Thank you.
What we usually do on these calls, these are kind of our free group calls. Anybody, we have a small group because it's behind the membership. It's a free membership, but um, we have this group. This is just not just, but generally a Q&A kind of format. Um, uh, don't really do therapy or coaching or much facilitating here as the other programs. And so the other stuff, we have the fellowship as a weekly call, and I think we got about 15 or 16 people in that one. And that's where we do the facilitation. That's where you get feedback and um, get a taste of some of the movement stuff. And then we have the workshops and very high level advanced programs doing something called cinesomatics. And that's where we use movement and video to show you all of the hidden subconscious stories and myths and archetypes and patterns and blocks and traumas and shadow material and light material, all the wonderful things about you. If there happen to be any, just kidding, for some of us. Um, and show you through movement in your own body on video. so you can see these things and um, learn how to move in a new way and heal that trauma and become more functional. And so we've had people all around the world add zeros to their income, find relationships, heal the relationships, both intimate partners and children and parents, to finding their dream careers, to having an awakening, to just about anything somebody is looking for. So we span all sorts of stuff from the book to weekend workshops to private intensives, 6-month programs, online, in person. We got a Slackline coming up, in person workshops. And yeah, oftentimes it's one hell of a ride. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask, I know you're just getting into the book or anything, but you're welcome to ask. If not, you can just hang out and participate while somebody else brings something up.
Thank you.
Great.
I feel really excited for you, Alex. This work is so incredible, and I've learned so much, and it's just, it never ceases to. I've been doing it over a year, and it just never ceases to absolutely amaze me. And it just continually helps me. And I just feel so much excitement, like for you to just be coming in, and it's just such a beautiful world. And I, I just, you have so much to look forward to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, Joe or Hannah or Elaine, anything you guys, any questions?
I had a question about, I wanted to know how you would respond to this, because when I speak to people about the work, um, how it's, the traumas in the body, um, and, I talk about the cinesomatics, and then they will come up and say, well, I must be great because, like, I'm a yoga teacher, and so I move a lot in my body. And I know there's so much more, but it feels like people get confused, or I'm not explaining it correctly. They think that they just have to move in their body, and then they will, um, be
Yeah,
better.
a great way to counter it is, yeah, well, in that case, anyone who's athletic is healing their trauma all the time. Olympic athletes must have no trauma, right? No, it
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
that's where it's
So
just,
all professional athletes, football players, soccer players, basketball players, all those people, everything in their life just must work simply because they do sports? No, no. Yeah, that's a little tongue in cheek.
right.
But yeah, so it's uh it's a great question because a lot of people do get confused because there's no real reference point. No, almost nobody in the world has a reference point of shake your hands and discover how your mom and dad had their relationship and how you are sabotaging your business. It sounds bizarre. So you are not alone. Even myself, even my mentor, even the people that taught him, and on, for centuries. Um, it's not something that can fully be imparted through. I mean, you and Hannah. I mean, guys have been in this for a long time. You're still realizing, oh my God, if I move this way, really? What? Um, and so it's movement is important. There is some correlation between um, exercising and being athletic and doing physical things that helps you get into your body. But there's a lot of yoga teachers that are in their head and they can't feel. So even though they're doing all the movements, they're up here or out there. They're not grounded, they're not feeling. In fact, I would say a majority of them in America in the West um, aren't actually feeling as they do it. They're going through a script, they're running a tape, or they're in their head thinking about something else, or they have different energy centers shut down. I've seen them. And if you go into big cities, popular ones, the guru types, you find a majority of them are in narcissism and ego, right? They're yoga bodies, right? Oh, look at my body. They got great bodies, right? Everyone will agree. Great yoga bodies. It doesn't inherently have anything to do with this. However, the more you move, the more you're in your body, the better. So there are people that stumble upon it, right? There are people that stumble upon things like not everybody, but you may have, or you may have a friend or know somebody who, while stretching in a deep yoga pose or something, start crying. That's more like what's happening. Um, but that usually is on accident. They kind of stumble upon it. They actually reach something that's in their body that's stuck and come through it. We have some of that in this work, but it's not the primary focus. There are stretches and things we can do to literally, through physical stretching and releasing, have emotional stuff. That is a component. Um, the the primary component, which is unique, is in observing the movement while feeling into the underlining symbolic data that's there. So it doesn't mean what I just said doesn't mean anything to anybody, and I understand that. I'm what I'm doing right now. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm feeling into the words, listening to find it. Versus, yes, it is A B C D E 1 2 3. This is what, right? That feels like I'm in my head going off on a list. So you can go to the gym for 20 years and do it all from your head, and you're going to get in shape, and you're going to get fit, but you might not get into relationship with yourself or your body. So there is a relationship between being in your body a lot, being athletic. There is a tendency that I've seen that shows a high physical intelligence and a tendency to be more in relationship with the physicality, but not always. So how do we talk about this, right? How do you explain this to your friend? A good way to explain it is not that. Okay, so the the body is an instrument, right? Your body is a screen, your body is a guitar, your body is a pen, right? It's an instrument. What you, as a writer, you don't work on making your pen flow ink better. You work on writing better stories, better songs. It's not the instrument that matters. It's what allows it to come through. So the body is, when we do movement diagnostics in the body and cinesomatics, the body is important, but it's not the thing. Just like the pen is important, but it's not the thing. It's the message. The body is revealing because it's both an instrument and the store of it. So imagine the message was also in the pen, right? The ink, right? The ink is in the pen. the trauma, the subconscious data, the shadow material, the archetypes, all of that is energetically within the body. And so through movement, we're able to interface with subconscious data. So I generally have three paths, three doors, three interfaces of this work, of the mystery schools, to interface with the subconscious. And it's through dreams, symbolism, and movement. There's a fourth, but we don't, that's a little more out there. For the most part, there's three paths that we talk about. And through your dreams, you get a dialogue, you get to interface with the subconscious, you learn about yourself through dreams, you learn about yourself through your relationship with symbols. We work with imagery, different imagery, ancient imagery, and your relationship to those symbols. And those both activate your subconscious, and you get to, through the work that we do, reveal your subconscious patterns and thoughts and beliefs through how you respond to the symbols, and then through movement in your body. So as you move, as you do this somatic archetypes or the handshaking, or you walk the slack line, it is not necessarily the body itself that is the refinement or the message. It's that it allows us to look at information and awareness that is below our consciousness. And through both the diagnostic form of that, of saying, oh, well, the way you shake your hand, this means something different to this. This means something different than this. And it's not my body that is the thing that is the thing. It's that data. It's that information. The body is just a supercharged fiber optic real-time interface. And it's a two-way street. The symbolism is too. The dream kind of is, but the dream is most people have less control with their dreams. It's just more of a message for you kind of thing. The symbolism is a bit of that, but you can actually, it's being imprinted upon you. But the movement in your body, you can actually move your body. You can go from this to this in real time like this. And so not only does it reveal something from your subconscious through the body, as below, so above, but also as above, so below. And so you can actually take what's up here, take new information, and re-embody more functional archetypes. So the movement and through the body, you have to have the body to move, right? So the body is the home for these things. And the movement is a way of processing the information somatically rather than intellectually. So I'll just pause there. That's a good sort of idea of, it doesn't fully answer your question because I'm still refining the answer to this question. But again, that took 10 minutes for me to talk about, is usually not a one-off answer to somebody. So we have some sort of pre-made answers to tell people. But because you've been doing this work so long and we have some new people, it's interesting to understand the theory behind this and what is this really about? Oh, you're just shaking hands, or, oh, can I just go for a run at the gym or lift weights? And that's not what you're doing at the gym. The purpose for the gym is physical fitness, right? Weightlifting is for strength. Now, knowing this work, you can then supercharge your athleticism. I mean, we've had people that gone to the Olympics and very high level stuff, dancing, music, all sorts of stuff. So that's just like 1%. The truth is, and it's the incredible thing, and sometimes the challenging thing is that the depth and the breadth of this work is unlike anything else. And it is also, the content is bizarre to most people. Wait a minute. I shake my hands and you know the relationship between my parents? What the hell are you talking about? Um, but shake your hands and let's find out. And it's there. Excuse me. So go ahead.
Yeah, that thank you. And I can really feel that too. Like when I was doing I had a post in the group about how how I continue to walk, but I'm changing that. But I would walk with my heel first and then kind of move like that, my heel down. And then, so now I'm trying to walk differently with my toes down and then this. And as I did that, I was in my body feeling, and I could feel the vulnerability of putting my toes down, having this exposed. But I was just thinking about this question, for an athlete or a yoga person, they're not in the moment thinking about how is this different making me feel, what is this? Or
Yeah.
they're just moving.
Well, right now you're thinking about it because you're having to readjust it.
Yes.
And again, remember that that way of doing it isn't necessarily the right way, and this way isn't necessarily the wrong way.
Yeah.
But you're discovering a whole new relationship with this different way to move. And
Right.
there's different schools of thoughts about running versus walking, how the biomechanics, and that's a real thing. Um, but there's also energetics of it. And so you can have something like this that's getting you into a relationship. Like you're not going to run a race like this,
Right.
right? Or
Yeah.
you're not going to actually, yeah, when you're running, your toes do go down first rather than your heels. You're walking, it's more of a tendency. Um, but if you practice walking more on my heels, it has a it has a different feeling to it. And you get to choose, you get to explore, and there's pluses and minuses to it. So there are things where biomechanically, energetically, you want things lined up. Like if you walk around like this, that's a problem. Um,
But
Not
for
because
them,
it's a judgment, but because of it's an actual energetic and physical problem. Yeah. But when
for them
athletes are go ahead.
awareness of what they're doing
Well, a
while
lot of
they're,
them aren't. A lot of
yeah.
them aren't aware, and the other thing to be aware of is that you don't want to be in your head thinking about this when you're actually like once you get it. Like when you're learning a dance move or you're learning a song or when you're learning anything, you're going to be thinking about it more than when you're in the flow state and you're a highly trained athlete and you just go.
Yeah.
That's normal. I mean, that's for everybody and everything you're learning. Um, if you're playing the violin and you have to think about every note, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But there are people that do things like this and they're in their head or they're in their ego. I remember watching it was like a dancing competition DVD. And I remember watching it when I was learning this stuff and seeing there was one couple doing dancing. It was like ballroom dancing. And it was like a big deal because they turned it into a DVD. It was like World Dancing Champions 1998. Whatever. You get that voice down. Um, and so it was very, very distinct between two particular couples. And the first one, amazing movements, amazing, and you could feel it and you were just mesmerized by it. And it was just great skill, great technique, but also feeling. It's like there was feeling is what I call it. Je ne sais quoi, the X factor. There's this intangible something that most people have a sense of, but nobody really knows. Well, I know. taught it and we discovered it, and it's been known for years, millennia, called different things. But the secret is feeling. It's really feeling. But when people hear feeling, they don't know what to do with it. They don't know what that means. Does that mean when you dance you have to be emotional? That's what people would hear. When I'm running, I don't want to feel any my emotions. What are you talking about? When I'm being a scientist, none of that matters. So it just tickles me so much how fucking everything is in plain sight. If you Jesus said something like this, but all my religious folks, please forgive me, but it's something like Jesus said, is of the kingdom of the Father is on earth, but men do not have eyes to see. And I mean, it's just once you really wake up and you see these things, it's like, oh my God, it's like right there. Anyway, but feeling is that key, is that thing that moves you. It's the difference between, well, I'll tell you. So that was the first couple. The second couple had almost even more precise technique. They You watch them, they got bang, 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 bang. They got great scores, all in ego. You could feel the narcissism coming off of the man. You could feel I don't even remember what she felt like. Um, but great technique. You know that they've practiced for a decade. Felt gross. It's all in their head, all about ego, showing off. They were performing. The other couple, they were dancing. And that feeling, there's other stuff, like I said, the narcissism and the ego and these other things. But when I saw that, it was one of these first reference points of, oh, oh my, now that you point that out, I didn't notice it before. And this is so much. So for newer folk, um, a lot of these things that I share, before I say them, you don't even know exist. Once I say them, you say, oh, well, that makes total sense. Of course. That's how you know this stuff is real. That's the truth. The truth is eternal. I'm sharing new discoveries as far as space and time. I'm sharing new ways that I express it. I'm sharing new innovations through collaboration with clients that are new, but there's no new truth. It's discovery. I'm not sitting here making up. All right, now I'm imposing into the universe that the body stores this information and you can see it. No, it's been there the whole time, just like everything. So that's why when you read history books, you hear about discoveries. They discovered something. It's been there. We just found a way to see it.
Wow. I was going to share a little bit of discovering more about myself, and I just wanted to reflect how I've just been feeling really, I've been feeling so much in the last 3 days. And it's feeling that I've repressed for 35, 40 years that I didn't want to feel. And I'm feeling it now. And it's just like, wow. So amazing. A discovery I've made. So
It's been there. Yeah.
it's been there. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Oh God. And then moving through victim, I guess I want to say that I never felt like I was a victim in my life. I always pushed that away, or maybe I repressed victim. So anyway, I started to feel these feelings like, oh my gosh, someone come save me. This is, all of these victim things, and I thought I got to read Andrew's the chapter in the book about victim, and I read it 2 times, and I still was just like, he's got to have like, a thing in there. If you're a kid, you
Right.
don't have to take responsibility, and then I kept reading, and it was like,
So
no,
I'm gonna translate that. You were looking for a way out. Andrew must certainly offer an exception. There must be an exception to this, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
And then I just kept reading it and rereading it, like, oh my gosh, because so many people around me use that technique of victimhood. And so I just was like, whoa, all these people are so stuck. And I would have been stuck too had I not had this resource. And it is just so freeing, the strength and the power. I get my power back. I can move on from this. I can grow. I can actually stop family trauma that has been going on for, I don't know, in my lineage forever. I get the opportunity to stop it right now. I mean, I just, it's running chills through my whole body. Like, wow. So, and I just, and how I've been doing this work for a while, but I just couldn't grasp the victim thing. I just was like, and it took me over and over and over to finally break through. And then I see how society and everyone's just, it's all so stuck.
Well, you got to see exactly what the point is. Most people get caught up in the defense. Well, that's not true. I couldn't do anything. It's not my responsibility. How dare you? Who, what? No. How, you're so mean. How could you say that? Stop victim blaming. Everybody just gets so defensive. It's not the point. I don't care who finger you want to point at. What I'm trying to get you to get to is what you got to. Oh my gosh, I'm giving my power away. How can I heal this? I don't care who. Neither should you. You should care about doing everything you can to take ownership. Because when you can take ownership, you can do something about it. You should also read, when you read the victim chapter, also go in and read the last chapter under responsibility.
Yeah, I saw you. Is that above all else?
Yeah, yeah. And above all else, I think 4.
Okay, I need to read that. I
Because
saw you.
that's the counter. That's the cure.
Okay.
So the first part of the book, there's a lot of stuff to get you out of it, to help you in the first part. But if you see like the chapter on when intellect slows you down, well, the counter one to that is the embodiment chapter. When you're the narcissist one, the kind of remedy to that one is the your life isn't about you. The victim one, remedy is about responsibility. Avoidance is the one about arriving to now. It's not every single one, but there's a lot of them that are like that. So yeah, the victim mentality, the cure to that is responsibility. And the more healing that you want, the more freedom that you wish for, the more responsibility you need to take. You take as much as you can. Someone's like, no, this is my responsibility. You say, no, it's mine. Hey, I did it. It's all my fault. No, I did it too. Why? Because you want to blame yourself? No, that doesn't work. To martyr yourself? No, it's not about martyring. But you see, there's all of these other dynamics that when you say these things to the general population, it filters through a couple dozen of all of these things and they hear it that way. So I'm inviting people to take responsibility so they can heal themselves, so they can stay safe, so they can never allow that to happen to themselves again by taking as much responsibility as they can. And people hear, how dare you? Nothing is your fault. Well, it's not about your fault. That's the whole thing. Stop. It's not, it's the blame game. Doesn't matter if it's your parents' fault, your fault. Get rid of the fault part and look at every opportunity that you can take responsibility or where you've given your power away so you can reclaim it, so you can do something about it. Because when your trauma is somebody else's responsibility, you are held hostage until they do the work. And I have a pretty good I'd place a pretty good bet that someone who is a actual perpetrator, probably going to be a long time before they go in and heal the work and come in and forgive themselves and apologize to you. So you're going to be waiting for a very long time for your healing if you give your power away to somebody else. So it's about getting your power back, not self-blame or victim blaming. But for just a lot of people, they're just so triggered. It's so volatile. People are looking for the exceptions. And why do you want an exception? Guess what happens? Great. You're a child. It's not your fault. Guess what? There's nothing you can do about it. Great. So you just get to live with this. Well, that's what you're saying. So if you want to do something about it, you can. That's what I say in the last chapter. You can only do something about something that's yours. I can't go to your body and make you do anything. I can't go to somebody else's house and turn on their TV. That's a violation. I can only do it for myself. So the most ownership I can take, the more that I have the ability and the right to do something about it. And that's what all this work is, to do something about it. So many people are caught up in fucking pointing the fingers. And it's like you're wasting all this time defending and arguing and fighting and pushing away and accusing. And you could have imagine if you spent all that energy coming up with a solution to heal yourself, or to, let's say, if you got abused or raped or violated or beat up, you could be using that energy to go and learn self-defense, to get stronger, to protect yourself. That's what I fucking want. When somebody gets hurt, I want them to learn how to keep themselves safe. And if they're sending out messages subconsciously, if they're manipulating people, if they're going unconscious, if they're being a victim, they put themselves in a dangerous position. Yes, the other person that does the crime or is mean or hurts them or whatever it is, yes, absolutely, it's on them. And you can't control those people, but control as much as you can. If you're insecure and afraid, go learn how to be secure and safe and protect yourself and move through the world in a way that communicates, you're not going to fuck with me, versus, yeah. It's like, I understand. I have compassion. Of course you're terrified. Of course you're in fear. But the reality is, there's fucking creepy, evil, bad people that prey on that. So you can do something about it. There's something in your power. You can't eradicate all the evil, bad people in the world. But what you can do is develop yourself, empower yourself. You don't need to put anybody down. You don't need to blame yourself. It's not about enabling them. It's not about condoning anybody else's behavior that does wrong. No, forget about all of that. It's none of your business. Your business is what you can do in yourself to heal, to grow. How can you learn from the experience? Even if I'm talking extremes because these are the ones that people have the biggest issues with, but it's the basic, simple things. Being a victim. Oh, well, the government did this, or my mom did this, or my partner did this, or my cat did that, or the weather did this. If it's true, it has to apply at all levels. That's why there's no weasel out. That's why you didn't find a weasel out. it has to remain true at all levels, or it has no power. So it's all about self-empowerment. And you're experiencing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute hope. I'm just a
Hope,
savior.
hope, yeah. And I say in the book, true hope is the recognition that you can save yourself. No one's coming to save you. You get to do it. And it's not an attack. It's not a blame. It's not a burden. It's a gift. It says, it's up to you. Not that it's your fault and you're a piece of shit. It's you're powerful beyond measure and you've abandoned that. Some dogs. So, what is anybody hearing here? Anybody learning anything? It's an intense topic. If you haven't done much work, but once you get out of the victim mentality, you say, "Oh my gosh, the world." I mean, it's like 9 out of 10 plus people are probably in a victim mentality. It's been enabled at the highest levels of government in our society, in our culture.
I'm just thinking about, like, say you've done all that healing work
Yes.
and coming across other people, well, like the whole world, that
Yes.
that haven't done it, and that like congruence of like seeing that difference. Like, how do you deal with that? Like, come on, guys, wake up, kind of, because that must be quite hard to kind of see that difference, and people are just so oblivious. And
Yeah. Two answers. The first one is get there and find out.
no.
Yeah. Right.
No, I will. I
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
sometime.
So that's what I like those for theoretical questions because it's like, well, once you get there, then ask me the question again. Um, but a further answer is compassion. And you only get compassion if you've been there and you've gone through it. So you probably hear this, spiritual teachers, right? Saints or gurus, things like that. People that have awakenings. Well, they see the suffering in the world. They experience the suffering. I've been through tremendous amount of suffering and gotten through it. And I've helped a lot of people through a lot of suffering and get through it. And I've seen a lot of people that want to stay in their suffering and keep their suffering and not go through it. And it's like, I get it. Yeah. You want to hang on to that. You want to protect yourself. You're terrified. I get it. Oh man, you've been treated like shit your whole life. Of course, you're filled with hatred. You've done everything you can. You've been a martyr and haven't known you've martyred yourself your whole life. And so you're resentful. And you don't want to give it up because you're still waiting to get your reward from it. I get it. So for me, I I get it. I get it. And there's different perspectives, different times, different levels. There there's a time for that, and there's also a time to say, knock it off, wake up, you're killing yourself. But that's a moment. The moment calls forth that, right? You just knock it off. And if they don't, well, eventually say, all right, bye bye. Good luck, or come back when you're ready, or they still show up and they're still asking for help. You do your best. I have a slightly different role because I'm a healer, facilitator, teacher, this kind of thing. So, but yeah, there's moments where I'm soft and gentle, and it's okay. Yeah, I get it. All the other way to get the fuck out of here. because that person is violating me repeatedly. They're disrespecting me. They're harming me. They're hurting me, and they won't stop. And so that's boundaries. So it's the whole spectrum. It's and even through that whole spectrum, there's still compassion. You can have compassion while setting a boundary. Say, "Oh yeah, I totally understand why you're doing this. Your parents hated you, and you've been abused and traumatized your whole life. I get it. It's not personal. I'm not mad, but you're not allowed in my life. If you want to take the time to heal that and for some reason come back and try again, after addressing this stuff, sure." So people get confused. People think that if you don't go around preaching or shutting people down or doing the stuff that you're enabling it. I'm not enabling people's victim mentality any more than anyone else. Now, you asked about the world. There's direct people in my life that it's different, right? Because I can help them. I'm not going around rescuing every person in the world. But yeah, you do have to see. You look out and you see the truth. It says, wow, a lot of people in victim mentality. Well, what do you do? Well, you do whatever you want to do. This is how I'm helping. You can help or not help. You take care of yourself first. It's really the best thing is heal or heal thyself. First and ordered home. That's what I say in the book. It's like you want to go out in the world, help your community, help your family, help people wake up. Great. Do it first. Make sure that if you go around say face your shadow, that you faced your shadow. And that's what I had to do. I spent 15 years doing it. I'm still doing it. And that's what I tell people to do. And so I have great congruency with that. And people can feel that. Very different than running around the world saying, wake up, don't you know, you're abusing yourself. There are some people that do that. They make documentaries or they're activists or things like that. And okay. But yeah, once you go through it and face it yourself and you feel it, it always comes with great compassion because you're just like, oh God, we're children. We don't fucking know. Like, oh my God. And then you realize there's so much love. On a more spiritual level, you're just like, God, there's in a boundless, unconditional love in this universe. And all we got to do is stop rejecting it and we'd be a lot better off. But different religions, different people, they have blocks and cultures that it has to come in a certain way from this way, that way. It has to look like a this or a that, or in this language and that language. And okay, but you can let it in anywhere. You could feel unconditional love on this call right now. You could feel it looking at your underwear. Say, wow, this is incredible. Like somebody somewhere invented this. Somebody got this cotton or got this fabric, the inventions that were required to go through this. You could just go into this entire journey and say, wow, all of this for those, for that. Wow. And you do that with anything. This is incredible. The entire Big Bang leading to a pair of underwear. That's hilarious. Yeah.
Went off on a weird direction.
Well, I have clients and we had one talk and it ended with, do you have any edible furniture? Do you have any edible furniture? Yeah. You can find it anywhere. The humor, the joy, the creativity, the blessings, the love, the hope, the possibility, or the suffering. this is good. There's a phrase that says, "Everywhere you go, there you are." Right? Well,
Mm.
I have one that's says, "Everywhere you look, there you are." That's you. Everywhere. You can look and see that and suffer. Well, guess what? You're suffering. You can go and look at this and see the humor and beauty and joy and love. Guess what? That's you. So it's really important to be aware, to open your eyes, to awaken and see the truth of these things. You know, some of my clients, you guys have seen the three layers, right? Of false, the lowercase f, truth with the lowercase t, and truth with the capital T. And so being able to perceive reality at all those levels, you know, this this dimension of reality at those levels, um, it just creates so much peace and compassion and understanding. And also, let's do something about it. Right? It's not just like, oh, the world sucks and not do anything about it. It's like, okay, well, what you're looking at might suck. Well, you can either see the beauty in it or do something about it, or both, or neither. A simpler way to answer your question, more, let's say, therapeutically, um, taking what I just shared is, if you feel frustrated with them, where's that frustration of yourself?
Mm.
Right? If you're frustrated with them being victims, where are you being a victim? Where are you frustrated with yourself?
Yeah.
Now, it's different if they're coming to you and victimizing you and doing shit to you. That's different than you just seeing the world and being frustrated that the world is doing this, which is your question.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's why I gave my first short, easy answer is get there first, and then we'll have a different conversation.
Okay, I'll note it down on my calendar.
All right, you let me know. See you next week.
Okay. All right. Oh, I've got another question as well. When do you do the opposite, and when do you just feel and let that process through?
You feel and let it through first, and if you find that you're reverse wired, doing the opposite will collapse that. So
So,
you always want to feel it through and get into relationship and own it first.
okay.
Once you take ownership of it and you've identified it and you've felt it, you can either keep feeling it through, and that will pop you through, like the A5 process. You go through it, and if that doesn't work, um, doing the opposite um, will, whatever percent. Like, let's say that works 70% of the time. Doing the opposite will then work the remainder, 28% of the time. Um, or almost every time if it's a reverse wiring. If it's a polarity thing, like some things aren't polarity based, so there's not a reverse wiring or doing the opposite. Those things don't work. But that so much is um, that it's just an easy go to. It's like almost anything somebody does, I immediately second attempt will say, we'll do the opposite, do it wrong, do it backward, do it in reverse. 4 to 5 times it gets it. But that's
So
not
it's
every.
something like if it feels wrong the first time, you might be reverse wired.
Say that again.
Like if you do a movement and it feels wrong, that's when it could be the reverse wiring, and then you try
Sort
something
of.
else.
Well, I mean, it's really important to even have feedback because if you're reverse wired, it's gonna feel normal or wrong. Like,
Yeah.
so like that's the thing. If you might have an awareness enough to be aware of it, where you say, "Show me loving somebody," and you're going like this. If you're aware enough, you might say, "Holy shit, I don't even, oh wow."
Yeah.
But that really only happens for like the most obvious stuff for people that aren't caught in it. Most people are caught in it. And most of the things are more subtle. So yeah, that's why I say essential external, like getting that feedback. And even just in a mirror or on video can create enough separation for some things. Not everything. Like even for me, it's like I got years of feedback from other people. Um, so yeah, if you notice something like this and you're like, wow, this feels loving, but you look at it and you say, that looks crazy, that does not look loving, that's probably almost 100% reverse wiring.
Mhm.
Um, it could be also saying, let's say, show me enjoying work. Well, that's reverse, what probably reverse wiring because it looks like you don't enjoy work. And so there's, a mix up there. So yeah, when you go into to feel and to heal and to move through stuff, um, you can also use that to unlock it. Because let's say you're just feeling frustrated, you're just doing frustration, all the frustration. Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm frustrated. And nothing's working. It's like, all right, we'll do the opposite of this. Yeah, you have the breakthrough and the emotion or whatever. So when it comes to the healing part, the feeling through it part, if you're getting stuck, if you're just banging your head against it and you're like, man, the more I own this anger, the more anger I get, and it like happens more than a few times, um, well, go into the anger and then from within the anger do the opposite. It often has some sort of breakthrough. The Again, the most important thing in all of it is that you're actually feeling the anger because you might just be reacting to the anger. You might be acting the anger out. You might be telling a story about the anger. You may be angry about the anger. And so what you're actually feeling is your anger around being angry, and you're just looped and you don't even actually get into the original anger because you're angry at yourself for being angry. So, this is why so many people are stuck and stay stuck in almost every modality. Um, versus this because we can verify it. We can see it. Oh, you're just looping that. How do we know? Because we're watching somebody move in their body, not tell us a story and talk to us for 2 years. And, those things aren't, a lot of things aren't obvious through conversations or talking to Chat GPT. Uh, and
Mhm.
Yeah, you need feeling. And then seeing it for yourself and through movement on video and all the subconscious patterns. Usually, most people take words at face value. Any good therapist or counselor or coach or facilitator doesn't take the words at face value. Anyone worth their salt just really you want to listen deeper. Um, but then the issue is dealing with clients or the people that, well, I said this. Well, yes, you said those words, but what you communicated and what you really said was something else.
Mm.
And that's another place where people then get to argue. Well, but I said the thing. Well, I said this. How come you don't think I'm telling the truth? I told you I was telling the truth. Okay. That
Mhm.
would play those kind of games. And we do that with ourselves. And so again, this is why the movement and the video of it and the feedback is so important because we can con ourselves really easy, especially if we're caught in one of those loops. Yeah, and so having different movements or opposite movements or backward movements or different movements or wrong movements or something like that can be a very quick way to interrupt that pattern and collapse that wave. Because when you do the opposite, you collapse the wave, right? When you got a wave like this, meet a wave like this, it goes to zero. And that works incredibly well with reverse wirings. Hannah, anything? Oh, I can't hear you. Nobody can hear you. That's very fitting, isn't it? Testing, testing.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. I only had one earbud working. I don't know what's going on, but um yeah, no, that was really helpful. I have go feeling in and out of a lot of different things and um yeah,
Okay.
lots of stuff cooking. I don't really want to get into it
Okay.
here now, but yeah, that was very helpful.
All right. Alex, how are you doing? Are we weirding you out with this stuff, or what are you hearing?
It's good. Can you hear me?
Yes?
Oh, good. It's all good. It's just developing a self-awareness and to really be true to yourself, really. New to me is the movement. I don't have any knowledge really of movement within a cycle kind of or manifestation of unconscious can be explained. I have some knowledge of unexplained medical symptoms and how movement could, and group therapy, which I'm trained to run for something that doctors can't find treatment or not even investigation to justify uh, finances for treatment. And people then resume to talking and to develop the self-awareness in a dialogue with a professional. So I'm probably very new to your, well, it's a belief system in it's new material, new knowledge for me, and I don't know yet about how this movement come about, and yeah, I certainly will kind of open that ear of curiosity to see how it fits, because it has to fit with me first. I never learn something and I'm going to practice. I have to really on other people. I meant I have to go through it. Uh, I if I don't do that, I can't do it. So I suppose this mood and curiosity kind of I have to know now. Was the today, funny enough, and sorry to bore you with this, but today, funny enough, I've seen a physiotherapist for a breathing problem I have, and she suggested a very simple exercise of breathing in whatever sequence I can't remember, but kind of with the hands up and down, which most obvious kind of expand the rib cage, getting more oxygen in there, and then reducing that. The diaphragm is clearly, everybody knows how the movement can really oxygenate your brain better, your thoughts are then change, and then your behavior and your stamina changed. And I was just curious if I throw this in, what will be the opposite of that movement? But don't do it to, it's I mean, it's 2 o'clock in the morning here. I'm not sure what time is there, but I'm gonna make this my research path really to find out what the effects of movement are on I don't know that relationship with myself and being self-aware. So yeah, certainly food for thought.
Different.
Um, well, it's different and making sense. So kind of a bit of a mixture.
Mm.
Nothing surprised me. I just can't recall nothing in my head or my body that I'm aware of a certain movement and doing the opposite has some effects to that extent. And I'm sure it's not a mystery or a secret because I suppose this is again your domain, your speciality. But I suppose all new people have this kind of uh, impression on when they hear something for the first time. And I'm sure I'll find a language to translate it and to understand a bit more. But right now there are a few words. I'm going to keep them there to keep the essence of it, and I'll look into understanding more about them. Sorry,
Great.
I'm rambling here. It's about having a whole bar of chocolate before this meeting to give me
If
awake. So,
if
pardon my.
if you'd like to go, you could go to cinesomatics.org.
Yeah,
Cines
I already been there. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I'm well read for last 24 hours, but I like a bit of mystery of not understanding this word. Yeah, I like it. What's the point? Know it all. There has to be something there to. I still want to grasp it. I still want to understand it. It's like the otherwise I wouldn't be me really. I like to have something to intrigue me, if not
mm,
anything else, of
well,
seeing you beautiful people at 2 o'clock in the morning smiling.
mhm.
If that's not a gift, I don't know what it is. So
And
thank you.
you being overlooking our beautiful blue planet is a gift as well.
Uh, I choose. I love them. I mean, yeah. I thank you. I'm definitely in space. Don't tell
Definitely.
anybody, but don't
Yeah.
tell anybody. But I'm not grounding right now, and I like it. Sometimes we need to float.
Well, float away.
Absolutely, all the way. Why not?
Yeah.
It's so miserable sometimes, and it doesn't hurt anybody, really. Having, quite a different kind of dialogue, quite a different kind of hearing and understanding and staying with. I'm not sure how can I explain this, but I'm only speaking English for the last 22 years, and I learned English by myself. I knew French in Germany back in school, but staying with them, what you all said, it's for me the main thing. Yeah, and yeah, that's it.
I can send you one of the sessions that I did with Andrew if you want for some more understanding with it.
Yes, excuse me a minute. Excuse me a minute.
All right. Anybody have any final thoughts? Nope.
Thank you for all of the information.
You're welcome.
Thank you, and great questions, guys. Joe and Elaine, those were really good questions.
Thank you.
Offered a lot for me too.
Dig in, Hannah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up here. Alex, I hope you're all right. It was good to meet you. Hope you're all right over there. If you want to catch the replay, we'll have that here in the school group. Well, thank you guys so much. Thanks for the great questions, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, thank
See ya.
you.
Bye.
Bye, Alex.